Easily thought it was too much. It calls from Halifax.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, anything on YouTube, yeah.
It says what on. Alrighty, so it being 6:01 PM, I'd like to call the Town of Annapolis Rural Committee of the Whole to order for our first meeting of the year. We have all of the councilors present, there are no regrets or absences. We have no additions to the agenda, but we will be removing the two topics that address the fire department. Those will be brought forward at the next council meeting.
At their request. Right?
At their request, yeah. So with the removal of those two things, does anyone object to the agenda as it is? And we will consider it adopted. Are there any conflict of interest issues? Okay. So we'll move on to approval of the committee of the whole minutes from December 3rd. Has everyone had a chance to look at it? Any comments? No, we'll consider those adopted then. So we will now move on to public input. There being no members of the public present. I guess we're not getting any input today. Next is new business. So our first item is the repeal and replace building bylaw.
So, in your agenda package, we have an RFD for the changes. I also have the, director of municipal operations and public works
Municipal operations and
development here, to answer any questions that may arise from the changes. Most of them is just like, housekeeping, because it hasn't been, looked at for quite a while. And removing like the old ADPC, removing the, fee structure, because it's in the fines and fees, policy. But the new addition is, updating to clarify the work over 10,000 needing permits. So Ken can answer those questions if you have any of those.
any other.
Yes.
So can I have a motion to entertain topic?
I move to recommend to council for the first reading of the building bylaw number 108.
Any,
And to recommend to council to set a public hearing
no,
of the building bylaw number 108 on February 18th to 2026. Thank you, at 6 PM.
I'll second that.
I'll open the floor for discussion then, is either of those two topics?
So just the change to the 10,000, what was the instigator for that?
Originally, that was actually part of the building code. The building code has since changed with regard to residential properties, but within the building code, it says that municipal bylaws may kind of reenact that portion of it. What's driving us especially, I think that makes it relevant. We don't have a lot of room for new development in town, as you can see, but we see a lot of redevelopment in town. So what we'll see is people adding suites and things to their homes. And give you a personal example, we have a building, we added 2 apartments. They were all entirely non-structural, but literally 2 apartments were added to it, and without something that, when we did it, that was covered under the building code. But if we had done it without this, we could have 2 apartments that don't meet fire regulations, all sorts of things. So because of just the nature of our town, and this is really only substantial alteration, renovation. This sort of just provides protections to make sure that these kind of significant changes in buildings do meet the building code. You know, it's not a new bar in terms of what you're doing, but it does say that it needs to be safe. It does need to be compliant, things like that.
So just to follow up on that question a little bit, you just said that the building code has been updated in general, that doesn't have that $10,000
Requirement for residential
for
properties.
residential.
Unless they're commercial at a certain scale. But yeah.
So, but is there, what I'm trying to understand is how are we different from the actual building code, and why are we different from the actual building code? So if they've changed it and removed that $10,000.
As part of the building code, leaving it to municipalities to decide if they want to do that. We're not the only municipality who wants to do that.
And then why 10,000?
10,000 just.
Because that seems really small in today's scheme of things.
Well, it'd be surprised. I had the pleasure of reading every building bylaw in the province,
Mhm.
and 10,000 is the highest.
Oh, really?
The
Wow.
lowest, Mahone Bay, $1,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I have to tell you, I mean.
You can't do anything.
Without
but-
a-
Yeah.
We don't need to get super in the weeds, but Mahone Bay, I'm sorry, Mahone Bay, West Hants is
Yeah.
$1,000, and that's got a population of 19,000 people. It's
Yeah.
not these little small
No,
towns
no, yeah.
making a grab. But Mahone Bay is $5,000,
Yeah.
right? So they vary.
I was just
1,000,
curious about
2,000,
the logic
2,500,
behind it,
5, 10.
yeah.
10 seems to be the most current figure. When I look at municipalities that have enacted similar limits recently,
Yeah.
$10,000 seems to be the norm there.
That puts
So-
us in with the norm, I'm
Yeah,
comfortable
it's
with
not
that.
happening in there. But I
I'm okay
agree,
with
like
being more.
1,000 seems burdensome, you know, good
Yeah,
luck doing anything. for
Yeah,
$1,000
exactly.
or-
yeah, makes good sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Any further discussion?
I will just say that we've put in the dates that are, we're assuming the Wednesdays are still
Our meeting.
our meeting date, so if we decide to change our meeting dates, then we'll want to change these motions to line up with our meetings unless you're gonna have extra.
Could the motion simply say like the next, so that February 18th would have been
The
the
February
council,
meeting.
the February council meeting, could we just say that in the motion? So that we're not,
Yes.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Okay. So we're ready to vote?
with the amended motion.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. With the amendment that rather than specifying a date in February, we'll say just the February council meetings, should the days of the meetings be changes. So all in favor?
Okay.
Aye, unanimously carried. Right, we will move,
And that's for both of the motions.
yes.
Okay.
We will move on to repeal and replace the vending bylaw.
So the vending bylaw is a complicated bylaw. We have tried to streamline it. We have tried to make sense of it. One of the biggest changes is the increase to the insurance amount. So the bylaw had $1 million and it should have been $2 million that we require. And then the removal of the information on the application is now in an appendix. So before it was all part of the bylaw and you were supposed to hand it written, and so we've kind of tried to clean that up a little bit. So I'm not sure if there's,
Right, I have a motion then.
I'll move, sorry, I'll leave the motion. To recommend council, first reading of the vending bylaw 208. And to recommend council set public hearing of the vending bylaw 208 at the next meeting of the council.
I'll
Any
second.
discussion then? Sorry. And I'll second it. Any discussion?
Here, ready to answer questions. Talk about garden centers.
Garden center. There's a lot.
I have to admit, I was like, we don't have garden centers, do we?
It's the removal.
All right, shall we take a vote then on both points? Recommend to council for the first reading of the vending bylaw and to recommend to council set public hearing for the vending bylaw in February 2026
No, I think it was for the next meeting.
for this. Okay,
February council.
Next, yeah.
Can't be the next, because, yeah, we have to
Okay,
advertise.
right, for February 18th. Sorry about that, Madam Chair. I'll be more
All in
involved
favor?
on
unanimously carried. This is gonna be a record evening, we'll see. Looking along here, so review and approve appendix C for the equipment replacement policy.
So this one, we review every year, so it's not the policy that we're changing, the policy is the same. We're just updating the appendix C. So you'll see in appendix C, some of the numbers have changed, so we've updated the actual retail prices to make it make sense. And those are the vehicles that are on online to be purchased this year, so. We're kind of looking to get a pre-approval so we can get the RFDs out and hope and see if we can get a deal now or later, but so. I don't know if you have any questions on why the changes, but Ken is also here too.
I'll move to recommend to council to pre-approve Appendix C of the vehicle replacement policy so that staff can go out to tender in January and have equipment ready for purchase by the new fiscal year budget.
Second.
So I'll throw the floor open for discussion. Right, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously carried. Request to purchase salt is the next topic, not
Wow.
surprisingly.
Has it been as difficult to secure? I mean, wasn't there a shortage last?
There was, so previously we purchased our salt directly from TIR, Department of Highways. And I won't say why, because I don't know all the details. They had trouble maintaining a consistent supply. And so partway through the winter, they cut us off and said, oh, we just don't have any more to sell you. Even when they had salt in the shed, they prioritized. So we developed two alternate pathways for purchasing salt. One from the mine in Pugwash. And then we have another contractor that buys salt from Sussex, New Brunswick. So now we have our own private contractors. One's easier to deal with than the other, just in terms of logistics. But yeah, now it's pretty reliable. I can have salt in my shed pretty consistently 24 hours after making a call. So that's, it's not as nice as being able to truck over there when I'm running low, because maybe this is more than you wanna know. My shed will hold exactly one truckload, which is 32 tons of salt. So I have to time it where it's getting low, but I don't run out, make the call. So it's like, as I take that last scoop out, the truck is backing into the yard and filling it up, so there's no gaps. So that's tricky, like it's not just the infinite supply down the road, but other than that, it's become pretty reliable.
Can I have a motion? So,
Can I ask a question?
we're supposed to take the
Yeah,
motion
I'm sorry,
first. and-
yeah.
I'll make the motion again, or do you wanna make the motion? Go ahead.
I'll move to recommend council to approve an increase in budget line GL 01-23237Z in the amount of $25,000 for the purchase of salt.
I'll second that.
All right, and discussion?
So is this forecasted to be the last load that we'll need for the season or?
God, I wish I were true.
No.
Well, in worst case scenario, it's not then.
No, I mean, so looking at last winter, and obviously a sample of one is not super reliable, but last winter seemed to be pretty front loaded, that we had very high usage in the beginning that tapered off through the winter. You know, there was the occasional storm, but it was front loaded. So if this winter it seems to be following in the sense we have very high usage now. Whether it lessens remains to be seen, but if it's like last year, then yeah, I probably won't get to the full 50. I certainly didn't get to 50 last year, but you know, we was high last year, and so we needed the increase, and just there's a backstop. You know, like we've got a window now where I'm looking, the guy was delivering salt the other day, and I was like, oh, I won't have to call you for 2 whole weeks, because it's been weekly for a while. Because we got a nice little window, so if that happens, great, you know, I mean, it's far easier to return it to the budget than spend it, and I prefer that, obviously. So hopefully, yeah, we're going a little bit overkill, but we just don't know at this point.
So
it's hard to
this
say.
should last a little while.
So what I'm asking for now, I would say I am very certain, without being completely certain, will take us through the rest of the winter.
But we also spent that 25,000.
Yeah, I
December.
spent the first 25
It's
already.
gone.
Yeah.
So there's nothing left.
Yeah.
So I don't even, like, if we have another December in January, we'll be coming back and asking for another 25.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but our experience, so it's anecdotal, but hasn't been, it hasn't stayed so heavy in terms of usage throughout the whole winter.
Yeah. There was another break.
This is kind of an odd question, but it is about this, but was asked during a storm in December, I don't know, remember which one, but why salt and not sand? And I just didn't know the answer.
Well, sand won't melt anything, it gives traction, so certainly in icy conditions, sand works. And it works better than salt if it's icy and very
Very cool.
cold for us.
Yes, okay.
And we have used sand on occasion. The sand is very messy in that it gets into the storm drains, it gets into, because of just the commingling of our
Mhm.
wastewater and our stormwater. It can wreak havoc with our lift station pumps and things like that, so it's not the preferred choice. Sometimes we have no choice,
Yeah.
and sometimes it is the best solution. But yeah, I would strongly advise against it being like a go-to, like we're always mixing 50-50 or some other proportion of
Yeah.
salt, sand, things like that, because it does. It makes some problems too.
Thank you, I just couldn't answer the question, so I thought this would be a good time to ask.
Any other questions or comments?
Well, there was a nice thank you from the Legion for salting the day of the levy, which is a joint.
That's a day you gotta get.
That was noted and appreciated.
The chowder must be served.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously carried, so we will move on to the repeal and replace Board of Commissioners bylaw, Board of Police Commissioners bylaw.
Or say that one correct for myself, I always reorder the words.
So this one is an easy one before you get started. It's just to change the police, Annapolis Royal Police Department to Annapolis Royal Police Service. And this went through both the Board of Police Commission and Council to agree to the name change.
So I move to recommend to council for the first reading of the Board of Police Commissioners bylaw number 116, and to recommend to council to set the public hearing of the Board of Police Commissioner bylaw number 116 at the February 2026 council meeting.
Any discussion?
There was something about the certificate of approval, but maybe it was in the old one. There was an affidavit or something. Yeah, but it seems to have been corrected in this package. Yeah, okay, my question's gone.
All in favor?
Aye.
Emery?
Yeah.
Sorry, did see your hand go up, so.
No, it didn't.
I
forgot.
Okay, all hands having been up, the motion carried. We will now move on to repeal and replace anti-violence and harassment policy.
Nope,
No,
No, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong.
wrong
thing.
agenda, yeah.
Yeah, or that was not the, to change the committee of the whole and council meetings, the dates. Oops, the next topic.
Mhm.
So there's been a request to change the meeting dates by the deputy mayor, because it conflicts with the fire training at the fire department. So, yeah, looking to see if we have any suggestions, how we can change it. I prefer to keep like the meetings, like either the first and third, or a week apart. Not back to back, because it's harder to get the information out to.
The 2-week interval works well.
It does, yeah.
So what I heard is that Monday's not ideal because it doesn't give the staff enough time to prepare for the meeting, right? That Tuesday is not great all the time for some people. Wednesday is for everyone but me. And Thursday is not great, so,
There's Friday.
Friday is not great.
Sandy said.
I'm allergic to Friday night council meetings.
Yeah.
I need accommodation.
And we can also change it up too, right? So we can have it like a
Yeah,
Tuesday one night and a Wednesday one night,
Yeah,
like so
Yeah.
that you still have the ability to go to some meetings, maybe not
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
them.
well, and I'll find out which is the day that I think it's the third Wednesday that we don't have practice, so we could maybe do the council on the third Wednesday, so that we're
And-
not even moving it, right?
No, just
And then
the
just-
committee as a whole
Or
has
would
just
be
moved to
on
Tuesday.
yeah.
Yeah,
that would
so
be-
let me check and make sure, and if that's a proposal that works for everyone, it's fine for me.
Might I just say, if we're talking about the first week of the month, the Thursday would work for me, but the Thursday never works for you?
I volunteer at any
Oh.
school dances and
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of notifications.
Yes, I understand. No, I just noted that it was the third Thursday for me that was just
I
after.
needed
Yeah.
that, but
Are there any Mondays that work for you?
That's a tough one because right now that would require. Well, there's another committee that meets. Yeah, PHAC meets on the first Monday of every month. That I suppose could be changed. But I do have other commitments that happen on Monday that would make it hard to be prepped for the meeting that day, but
If we move the time up, would it make it easier?
no, it'd
No,
make
it's
it harder.
No, I meant like.
P-hacks at 4.
What's that? If we did it like a different one.
Different time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause that's option two, right? We could do it at 4:30 instead of 6.
But PHAC's at 4.
Yeah, we'd have,
We could-
P-hack committee would have to be willing to move their meeting.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then
theirs
you-
is on Monday, the first.
you know,
Monday.
You still work on Mondays, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or 5, like we could do a 5 o'clock start instead of 6 o'clock start, if that.
That would not,
No.
I couldn't move PHAC and.
No, and that would have us doing 3 hours, she and I'd be doing 3 hours.
As it is for right now, I mean, it doesn't, I'm not in a big rush to change it. Maybe if everybody goes home and thinks about it a bit and I can come back with the information. Would that make sense if we reconvene the discussion rather than making the decision today?
Yep, just wanted to have it, yeah.
Yeah, I
We've actually
appreciate you
had one on
bringing
the
it
top, but yeah.
forward.
We could even maybe take a look at it via email, so that we could have the decision for the next.
Sure.
Council,
What
meeting,
time
yeah.
does the fire start? Like
It starts at 7.
hypothetically, if would Wednesdays work or would it be too much if we bumped the time up?
Um,
on
no, it
Wednesdays?
could work for me. I mean, we're not
Like we did 4.
in Bunker Gear hooking
Or
things
like
up
hours.
right now, so.
You can't do 4.
I can't, I don't even get home sometimes till 5.
No.
I don't even arrive home at 5 on a Wednesday.
Yeah, because you're not in town even,
Well, I have staff meetings on
Yeah.
Wednesdays, so.
but still, you're not even.
I mean, if it really can't work, I'll continue as is. It just, when we agreed last year, we said we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna leave it. And we'll
Everybody's
just,
gonna
I'll put
do-
it on the agenda for council though. And we'll go and see what happens then.
Mhm.
Okay.
Great. So, 0.8 is the idea plan.
Mhm.
So there's been lots of work gone into that with our joint committee from the town of Middleton, the village of Lawrencetown, the county of Annapolis and ourselves. And so this is our final plan, hopefully. The governance committee has approved it. And then it's gone back to now to each council's for approval, and then we'll send it off to the province. Addie, I don't know if you noticed, but those changes got made
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
plan, and so that everybody has the.
I saw that, I was
Okay.
pleased to see that.
So, we don't have a motion related to that, so.
Oh, yep. There you go.
Okay, so any other discussion required?
So if we can have a motion, then it would just be to accept the equity, diversity and inclusion plan for 2026-2029.
Can I have someone willing to move that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried unanimously. Right, so we will now move on to unfinished business. We will now talk about the repeal and replace anti-violence and harassment policy.
So this one, Heather did a lot of the work on changes to the draft that was sent in by staff, and so we went back and forth. And I think we have a good, like, kind of plan draft ready for you to see if you're good with this one, or if there was any other changes that.
Yeah, there were a few things that I saw. Just minor things. But page 5. Town of Annapolis Rural no, that's a different place. Sorry, because there's all these appendices, right? At the back.
Yeah.
It didn't say municipal government act, it said municipal governments were responsible for something. I thought that was really important, that we get municipal act requires not municipal government. That,
Was it municipal government, you said?
it was tar improvements, page 5. Accessibility,
Oh, you're in the accessibility,
accessibility
Oh.
assessment, so not here then.
not here, okay.
Yeah, so not here, later on in the document. Yes, the accessibility improvements for the town of Annapolis Royal, that's where it is. Cause they're all different based on which town.
Are we on the same
Sorry, are you
document?
talking about
No,
the
no,
idea?
no,
Or in the
not the idea
appendices.
one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm in the wrong place. I'm totally on the wrong thing. Okay, not what I said. I do get lost in some of these wrong documents.
Yes,
Okay.
particularly long.
So-
Yeah,
No, to do with this one. Nothing.
I didn't have anything. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no, I'm in the
Okay.
wrong place, totally.
Okay, okay, so we're talking about repeal and replace anti-violence, right?
Yes.
Yes, we are. So I move to council to recommend to council to repeal the anti-violence in the workplace policy number 2019-05 and replace it with the anti-violence and harassment in the workplace policy number 2026-01.
Okay, second, please.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion?
Yeah. Okay, now I'm on the wrong one. At 3.7, I think it should read as a single occurrence. I don't think it's easy to understand the way it is, but it's 3.7,
It's on page 2 of 14.
2 of 14. Oh, you found it. I have hard time reading something that's on.
So in the package, it's page 187.
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I don't
195.
have, it, mine doesn't come up with page numbers of the whole package. So it's section 3.7.
So that,
it's
where it
page
says,
2.
workplace harassment, a single significant occurrence or a course of repeated occurrences. Is that what you're referring to?
It was 3.7 as a single occurrence. I'm still looking for 3.7.
Okay. I don't see as a single occurrence, so.
Okay, oh, I finally found 3.7. Oh my goodness, this is long. I thought it was a lot of really good work to get this done. Defines workplace harassment as a single significant occurrence. It's right there in the first line. The word as is missing.
Oh, I see what you're saying now, yeah, as a single.
And then 371, there's still a word missing. So I can't make any sense of those the characteristics one has characteristic 3 times in there. 371, the first line. It's based on any personal characteristic, including but not limited to a characteristic referred to the
Right.
following characteristics. Like, and I brought this up before, that's just not understandable.
In the building that is based on any personal characteristics, including but not limited to.
A characteristic.
A
referred.
characteristic. There's something wrong with the punctuation there. That's why it's hard to read.
I think it should just say, including but not limited to the characteristics outlining clause of the human rights. There's a whole section too much in there. I think it's just extra language. It doesn't.
Yeah, because there's 3 characteristics in a row and that
Yeah.
does make it a little
So
confusing.
it could be referred, and then the rest comes out referred to, in clauses 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's,
Just too much language. Yeah.
so delete the following
It's
characteristics.
assuming their characteristics,
Just too
because it
many
says it's
words.
characteristics.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
But I,
characteristics are called characteristics.
but I thought it was much better, much
Yes.
clearer, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all, they're just nitpicking.
Another sort of, I missed this, but we kind of toggle back and forth between capitalizing and not capitalizing, for each beginning point.
Okay.
Just needs to be consistent.
Yeah, just,
Usually if
It's
it's
like
in the plural, and there's more
3.71
than
is a
one,
lowercase w,
like
3.
multiple errors would be spelled out. So
No,
capitals are used-
No, not that,
I'm
Ingrid.
just,
3.71 has a lowercase w, 3.72 has an uppercase I.
Yeah, so you're right. I think every time you've got 2 points like that, if it's not a semicolon or it's a semicolon, you're right, small case. And you're right, inappropriate would be.
like 3.1,
Yeah.
3.7.
Yeah.
They're all like,
7.2 should be a small.
It's, yeah,
Yeah.
or should it be?
Has to be all one way or all the
One
other.
way or the other.
Yeah.
Doesn't even
You've got
matter. It's just
semicolon,
all one way or
which
the
means
other.
the sentence wasn't finished.
oh no, but I'm just like, if you go to 3.13.7.
Yeah.
We should have a punctuation advisory committee.
I would love that.
Actually.
I would buy on the Oxford comma hill.
Because there's none for the English language, the only one is École Suisse de Belgique,
Yeah.
the French language. And so the English use their rules on use of capital letters because there's nothing
And if you can see for the majority after, oh no, 3.13, there's a colon and they're all lowercase after.
Yeah.
And that
So,
all
but that
depends
other
on
one's a
whether there's a
semi-colon.
complete sentence, but it depends on whether it's a complete sentence or not. So
Right.
if it's 2 points, then it can be bullet and small letters.
Yeah.
If it's semicolon, it should always be.
Yeah.
Right, but if that's not even
Yeah.
consistent here, because we have some places where there is a period at the end of it and it's a capital at the beginning, others where there is a period at the end of it and it's a lowercase at the
It's a
beginning.
minor,
Yeah,
minor quibble.
Has more time on it than any other topic.
Sorry.
So as the chairperson, I'd like to recommend that we, take a vote then on the,
Motion.
motion that is on the floor to accept this with the grammatical corrections as specified. Okay?
that's right. And we'll just come up with a common, that makes a lot of sense. We spent a
So
lot
all
of.
in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
It's like herding
Or the
cats.
capital. Or is that a lowercase
No,
I?
that was an I.
EYE.
Oh, dear.
All right, so there being no correspondence, we now will need to move into camera under section 22.2 of the Municipal Government Act to discuss matters of